Check it, Devin.
Oh, now you want me to check it? I've been trying to check it every week, and you guys are like, nah, you don't need to check it.
Well, it's been a
Oh,
while.
hang on. I have a lot of tabs
Make
open.
sure.
I hit record.
Wait, why would you do that while I'm checking it?
Well, that's what I normally
You
do.
could always
And
cut
then
it short. Yeah.
Yeah, I edited
Or
it
you
out.
keep it for the realism, like the, hey, we're about to do the Cape Complainers, blah, 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 blah. And then music, and then we go, hey, welcome to the Cape Complainers, we're doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the
That's
pre-show
so-
to the pre-show.
Can we vote Devin out right now?
Yeah, that's stupid, Dev.
Hey, at least I'm here.
Hey,
We're
that's
definitely
true.
not gonna do
That
that.
is very true.
Okay, let me
All
see.
right, we ready?
I don't hear anybody.
You don't hear anybody?
Two.
Nobody at
Hello.
all.
Wait. Greg, talk.
Hello, this is Greg.
Tim, talk.
Hello, this is Tim.
No, I don't hear any of y'all. Oh, you know what? I can't check it because my headset is plugged into my mic, and
Dummy.
that,
Okay.
All right,
and so I
let's
don't
assume
hear it from my computer.
Let's see if it works.
Here. You
I can check it
guys
on my
talk,
phone.
I'll check.
Nobody
Okay.
ever watches us live, anyways.
Hey, my dad does sometimes.
I know this is the one day where
It was
multiple-
easier when it was on Saturday because right now is his church time.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Let's actually all listen to the Cape Complainers. We get like
Okay.
50,000.
Let me talk for a second. I'm gonna talk.
Reed is going to shower. Like he didn't know this was happening. I talked to him about this
I
yesterday.
thought you said fix the shower.
No, he's going to shower.
Also, that's Flippo, Devin. And he says,
Really?
no, sorry, having to fix a shower.
Yeah,
Oh.
Okay, you guys
Sorry.
heard it here first. Devin doesn't know how to read.
Nope.
Yeah. All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
3, 2, 1. We're talking and now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Caped Complainers. We've been off for a few weeks, and you know what? I doubt any of you cared. Nobody wrote. Nobody wrote to say, "Where are you?"
Are you
Well,
okay?
Yeah, but it's okay. We're forcing our way back into your lives.
What are you talking about? I definitely got plenty of fan mail saying, Tim, is everything okay with you? We don't really care about the other complainers, but you specifically, are you okay?
Tim, those are just texts from your mom.
I've
Yeah.
written.
When are you doing the solo podcast?
Okay,
These other
guys. If I can't make a joke, then I don't want to talk. Huh.
All right. Well, we're back, and today we are kind of kicking off our. It's going to be like a Christmas 2 weeks instead of like the full month.
Special.
We're just going to kind of do a couple of Christmas things here and there. I believe this week and probably next week, and then forget Christmas ever happened. But today's Christmas episode is Merry Little Batman. It is a animated kind of Batman film with Damian as the main character, and it's a Christmas-centered story. And we're going to kind of talk about it. But before we do that, we have a special little treat for y'all where it's Devin's thoughts. I've been without Devin's thoughts for a few weeks now, and it's starting to take its toll. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be
I was about to say, you're starting to look super manic. It must be
really really run down. I can't sleep.
Like his
I
beard just looks disheveled as heck right now.
I had to put a hat on because I was like
Devin
growing
actually
hair
looks
back.
like a 21-year-old hipster, like a 21-year-old hip Gen Z or.
Well, we went to go. We took Rowan to see Santa, so I was like, okay, well, sometimes we have to do the pictures with him. So I trimmed up my beard, shaved my head. I've been getting headaches, so I put on my blue light glasses. So I'm in like my Christmassy shirt, and it's kind of cold outside, so I put on my beanie.
It's working for me, honestly. This is a nice. It's like a sexy little hipster lumberjack.
12 out of 10 would FUQ.
Yeah, you can shop my.
What's the
tree
Q?
anytime.
All right.
All right. Well, what is your thought?
I've had some
teaser. Yeah,
I sent two.
Teaser. Oh, you sent. I only saw one, but you sent a teaser in the chat.
Wait, did he?
And I have just been. I've just been on.
I sent one a couple weeks ago when we were going to do Scott Pilgrim, and then I had another one after talking to Reed. Which one would you like to do first? I had one about like blood and ichor and one about fingers.
Just
I
do
want this
it, Devin. We don't care.
I
Okay.
want the finger one.
Okay, so first off,
Finger me down.
let me lead into this. Reed was hanging out at my house. Actually, no, we were hanging out somewhere, and Rowan was counting. And he learned to count like starting with his thumb, going like thumb, index finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Reed stopped and looked at like Rowan and was like, "How does he do that?" I was like, "Count with your fingers." He goes, and he's like, "No." So here's my question: Can you move your ring fingers and your pinky fingers independently? So close them.
I can do most of the pinky, but you can see my ring finger moving right
It's
there.
hard to.
Yeah, but
it's
no.
hard to-
Now try to open them independently because closing them is easy.
I can. My
Pinky-
ring finger kind of moves.
Pinky easily, ring no.
Oh,
So close your hand. Yeah. Now lift your
What am I
pinkies.
doing, Devin?
Now put your pinky down. Now just lift like this finger.
The middle finger?
Yeah.
the ring
Oh.
finger.
No, yeah, the ring finger. So like I can kind of
doesn't
lift
go
it.
all the way- It doesn't go all the way up.
Yeah.
Reed can't get past like this point. Like his pinky has to be up, and even when his pinky is up, like his finger is still kind of
For
like
those
this.
of you who are not tuned into the stream, it's like a centimeter above normal resting position when your fingers are in a fist.
Yeah, mine can kind of go halfway.
Yeah, Greg's at like 90 degrees. I think I
Yeah.
can get almost all the way up.
I can
Yeah.
only get.
Devin's
I'm
got
halfway.
pretty much all the way up.
It really depends on how much my middle finger is up, or
Yeah, it is the middle finger.
The
for me,
range.
too.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
How do y'all do y'all's middle finger?
Easy. Just
Okay.
raise it
I
up.
do like I put my thumb out.
Really?
I think it adds a little bit of stank to it.
it does.
And
It's
so
like this is basic B, and this is like
When in doubt,
bougie.
big
I think
thumb
this,
out.
yeah, if you don't have your thumb out and it's just the middle finger up, I think this looks a little too kind of.
Actually, I feel
little
like
too
this is for friends, and this is for people you don't know and you hate.
And for those of you who are only listening to the podcast, adding the thumb is for friends. No thumb
Yeah.
is for people you hate.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna flip you off and I'm joking about it, it's like, oh, I'm gonna add in the thumb. But if you like cut me off on the highway, it's like, no thumb for you.
I'm
You
going to
don't
be
deserve
honest. I have never... I don't really feel like ever flipping off my friends. So what does that say about you, Devin?
Yeah.
Right? My friends
Yeah, I don't
hate
think
me.
I've ever flipped off my friends either, but for just about everybody, it's the middle finger and the thumb. That's like the bam.
I do
If
it
I
every
really don't
time.
like you- if I really don't like you, it's just kind of like a quick little.
I flip off the phone every time Greg posts a new TikTok that's directed at me.
Dude, I love your TikToks, Greg. They are
They're all
fire.
They're usually all directed at Devin.
Yeah,
I know.
Devin does the
So-
worst.
So pretty much every time that he does a new TikTok, I'm like, middle finger and thumb.
Yeah. Well, that should be a good thing that you're that popular with me that I just have to do them all at you.
So that was the main one. Oh, Reed also has a hard time doing Spidey hands. Yeah, I don't know why. Our theory is that Reed was born premature, and so his like tendons didn't get all the way down to his fingers, and that one finger.
He was a twin. How was he born premature?
Cameron started eating his tendons.
Yeah.
Cameron?
Is that why?
Who?
Is that why he
Is
has
that
the
his
white?
twin's name?
Ross. Ross.
Who cares? Who cares?
Is that why he has the little white streak in his hair? I don't know how that.
I don't
I
know.
know. Ross ate
I know,
the
but-
rest of the color in his hair.
I don't know the full story,
Ross
but
just kept
I was
eating.
told
He
yeah,
did not stop in that wound. Who was like
ate his tendons,
Freaks
ate
if
his
you notice
hair
Ross,
coloring.
yeah.
color.
Ross doesn't have the little white streak. It's just a darker shade of color right there.
It's all
he
white
absorbed-
and a dark streak.
Yeah, he absorbed that from Reed.
Okay, so my next thought was this. First off, how do you pronounce the word ICHOR?
I have to. I'm bad at
Ichor?
spelling now. I got to write ICHR.
O-R.
Yeah,
ICHOR.
Icker.
yeah.
Oh,
Ichor?
oh no!
Ichor.
I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm not. You're not having me say that on podcast.
Why?
Icker?
Yes,
Why?
it sounds bad.
It's
What?
not. What are you talking about?
It's a
Well,
word. It means like
yeah.
a tonic.
It sounds
Well,
like It sounds
So-
like the N-word.
No, it doesn't. There's
I'm
not
gonna
even a
edit-
G sound in it or an N
I'm gonna
sound.
I'm gonna edit it to where it's you saying the N-word.
Well,
And then that's how I
Well,
lose my job. And then I
number
will
one-
go down to Texas and beat the crap out of you.
and then take your job, specifically your porn job.
Yeah, he
Yes.
definitely wants my job.
A thin,
well-
watery, or blood-tinged discharge.
Yeah, and so my first part of my thought was like, do you pronounce it Iker or Iker? Because I know some people pronounce it both ways, but I feel like Iker just sounds wrong, right?
Yes, I agree.
Is it
Sounds
Iker?
awful.
Is it Iker or Ikka?
No, we're not gonna fall into this trap, Greg.
Okay, today my least favorite person is Greg.
Oh, come on.
But so you looked up like a definition of what Iker is, Tim?
Yeah.
Because I was having a conversation with my brother, and I was like, "Well, what is Iker?" And he's like, "Oh, well, it's like it's like the equivalent of blood and bugs." But I don't think that's true because when I tried looking it up, it didn't say anything. It said like, "Oh, that's what gods have is they
Yeah,
bleed Iker."
The first definition is a thin, watery or blood-tinged discharge, and 2, the second definition, an ethereal fluid taking the place of blood in the veins of the ancient Greek gods.
So it's not in bugs.
I think you just ignored the first definition completely.
But it is then.
It is a thin, watery, or blood-tinged discharge. So anything that is a discharge that is thin and watery or blood-tinged could be considered an ichor.
So blood is considered an Iker.
I would say yeah, because blood is blood-tinged, right? And it's a discharge from our body.
And it's kind of watery, I guess.
Let me type in do bugs have ichor?
And that's why I'm curious is because, like, what's the point of, like, titling it something else? Why can't it just be like, oh, this bug's got blood?
Interestingly, insects don't have a closed circulatory system like we do. So they don't have veins and arteries to move their blood, which is called hemolymph. It is not ichor.
Interesting. But they do have blood, is what I heard.
It's not the same as our blood. What types of discharge are considered ichor?
I'll tell
got
you
this.
what kind of discharge is considered Iker.
Okay.
I've gotten so bored with this thought already.
In
I'm just
pathology, ichor, I find this thought really interesting.
Greg is learning stuff, and he's
yeah,
over
I
it.
didn't come here to learn.
Just think about the fingers, Greg.
In medicine, in pathology, ichor is an antiquated term for a watery discharge from a wound or ulcer with an unpleasant or fetid smell. Probably plasma.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So we as people have Iker. We're like gods.
We are gods compared to literally every other animal that lives less lives than us.
That's
Yeah,
true.
like I killed a mosquito today, and I'm like, God, I'm incredible.
That mosquito's family is like, oh, Jonathan got smoked today. Wait, is it smite? Is it smitten? I don't know. And all the other insects are just buzzing about it.
All right. Well, the first thought was better than I liked. Than I didn't really care for the second thought.
That's
you're
your
dumb.
opinion.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the topic. As we said at the start of the show, it's Merry Little Batman. It's available on Amazon Prime of all things. I thought it was going to be HBO Max. Like I was just scrolling through HBO Max. I'm like, I know it's supposed to be here, and I had to Google it, and it's on Prime. And
I stumbled upon it on Prime by accident because I was going to just look for something else, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. Anyways, right off the bat, it is an animated movie. What did y'all think of the animation?
I liked it in some places and hated it in others.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, I thought, like, I hate the Crimson Chin Batman.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. While I was watching, I was like, why has he got like the biggest chin on the face of the planet?
Yep.
Yeah, I did not like the Joker's design.
Yeah,
Or-
the
It
Joker-
was weird,
a lot, yeah. A lot of the designs of the characters were off. Like I feel like Damien's was fine. It almost didn't match everybody else's design.
I felt like as normal people, they were fine, but as like even just like the random people in the street, they were fine. But
Yeah,
when you got to like the main characters outside, even Alfred, like, why is he a hunchback?
Yeah, he looked rough. Just the overall face. It was just like Jesus.
I mean, I feel like in that story, Alfred was like on his deathbed or something.
Yeah, like he was old ass
Yeah.
Did anybody find it weird that Alfred made it to the Batjet before Bruce did? And he was like, record time, sir. I'm like, Alfred, you should fucking be Batman. Because, like,
You
you got
quick
the
son of a
powers of
gun.
the freaking Flash, bro.
Yeah. Oh
As
yeah.
he like as he takes like 6 days to just go to the store to get hot cocoa, but
Oh
he can
yeah.
get down to that bat jet in an
He went to
instant.
get marshmallows. But yeah, he did take a long time. But I mean, some of the art was like I agree with Devin. Some of the art worked in certain places. But ultimately, I found it just kind of it grew on me as it went as the movie went on. I just kind of allowed myself to just turn off my head and be like, it's a cartoon.
How come you can't do that for every other thing we watch?
Dude, I swear to God, we watch like 100 out of 10 movie, and Greg's like, actually, they used the colored yellow 1.2% longer than any other movie that's popular right now. So
And I couldn't let it go.
Yeah, so I kind of had to just stop paying attention and give it a 1 out of 10 stars or
All right.
capes.
First of all, that is the best impression I've ever heard in my life. Good job.
Thanks. I
Um,
appreciate it.
but I don't know. It was just kind of like it was fine, and it worked for what this movie was. It didn't take itself seriously at all. It was genuinely just kind of there to be like a fun holiday Batman movie. I thought I really like the cat's name is Selena, and
Yeah.
whenever Damien is chasing him around the house and everything, I thought like that he was just pretending it was Catwoman. But then whenever I saw Selena written on the bowl, I was like, "Oh, his name is Selena," and I got so happy. But it was just a cute little movie, and I think it
I
works pretty
I
well.
loved the Home Alone aspect of it in the beginning,
Yeah,
with the two burglars. But then when they got to the Jokers, and you could call it like it was like, oh, okay, yeah, there was the big boss. It's got to be the Joker. And they were like, so you lost them all? And they're like, yeah, to this tiny little kid in pajamas with a paper bag mask.
yeah,
I was like,
it
oh
was
man,
yeah, it was pretty cute. Speaking of the Joker, I was surprised. I was listening to his voice for a while. I'm just like, he sounds so familiar. And it's do y'all know It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
yeah,
It's Rickety Cricket.
don't know who that
He's
is.
the because obviously it's just there to just be fun and all that, but it's just it had its highs and its lows. I felt like whenever it actually got heartfelt, it hit a little bit more. Because it was mainly a comedy. Like there's a lot of silly things that happen in this movie.
Wait,
But what?
let's try something new. You ready, Greg?
Huh.
Rank it now.
Give it a cape now.
Give it capes now.
Hmm. Let's see. I honestly, it's probably like a 7.5 out of 10 capes. Right off the bat, if I had to give it now.
Okay, wait,
Um,
Tim, what's your capes?
For this specific movie right now?
Yeah, yeah, give it your capes.
I like how we're both confused by it. We're like, what?
Yeah, I really
Well,
am. I'm like, what
I
the
feel
hell is
like
this? What is
I
going
feel
on
like
here?
we give it like because you just said it's a hard movie to critique. Let's give it our capes that we think it is, and like defend why we gave it those capes.
Okay,
And it might change someone's mind
why didn't you explain that before you started asking random questions?
because I like to leave people in the dark. I do it at
Devin's
home all the
like,
time.
hey, guys, take a step forward. And we're like, why? And he's like, no, take a step forward. And then we plummet to our deaths. And he's like, I was just showing you how you could trust someone. I was just trying to teach you the thrill of dying. I think I would give it, I don't know, I'd say about 4 capes. It's a cute story, but the animation
Yeah,
style to me was weird.
that's pretty low.
Yeah.
Was it just the animation style that
Well, okay.
made it low?
Pause. 5 is average, right? If 10 is the best that we've ever seen, 1 is the worst that we've ever seen. 5 has to be average, right?
Okay.
That is how averages work.
Well, I feel bad giving it a 7.5 now.
I think it's
just
a
like,
little under
did I
average.
go a little too high?
I think it's a little
Maybe I
under
don't
average because I think it had a really cute story. I thought it was really good. I didn't finish all of it, but you guys told me the rest of it, and it was good. I think that the dialogue in it was silly. I think it was written for children, which it was. And
Yeah.
I think Damien was a brat, and I think that I didn't like the way they portrayed Alfred because I really like Alfred as a cool guy, not as an old, decrepit crypt keeper.
Yeah.
At least he's alive in this.
That's true. That is true.
Barely, but he's there.
And I did not like the animation. So 4 out of 5 I think is good. I am gonna finish it still, but I think it could have been better.
Now, I say I didn't like the animation either, but you stopped watching, unfortunately, at one of the most interesting animated bits in the movie. Whenever Damien, he crashes back down into the city after Bat Dad suit dies, and the Gotham City people, they get really upset with him and start chasing him. That it all changes into black and white, and it's kind of like a shaky kind of animation,
I don't know if I
Like
would
a
like
horror
that.
movie.
almost to
I don't
show
think you
people,
would.
like how Damien's like kind of scared
Yeah.
and all that. But that for me, I thought was interesting, which then entered my head in what if the movie had different animation all the way throughout, almost like multiple animators took.
I would have hated it.
I think
That would have been worse.
Yeah.
That would have been worse than the animation that they had.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a really interesting thing. Like, you
I
never
think it
really-
would have been interesting. Yes. I think it would have
Yeah.
made it unwatchable to me.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then I'll retract that
No,
statement.
no. Finish your statement because it is something that you wanted to see, right?
Yeah, because like as far as like the animation in the movie goes, like yeah, I going into it, I thought it was weird, but then whenever it changed, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting, and it just made me want to like see more of that animation. I'm just like, what if it just did that? Like, what if this whole thing was in black and white? Would it have made an interest, like almost like a comic book? It would have been really interesting to see, but I don't know. It was obviously like I don't want to put that much depth into a kids movie.
Do you
'Cause that's
remember the ABCs of Death, Greg?
Yes.
You wanting different animation styles every so often, thinking that it would be interesting, reminds me of that series, and that series was awful.
But it was well, the point of ABCs of Death is it's different directors doing one thing,
Yeah.
like one word, and doing a whole thing about it.
I feel like
Now I'm not saying like change the animation every like 5 minutes. I'm just talking about like maybe like
Yeah,
every
you're right.
like,
Every 1 minute.
Greg wants this movie to be like Sin City,
each frame,
but
I want
animated.
it to be a new animation.
I haven't seen some.
God. All I remember about Sin City is it's a black and white with the exception of like the color red and yellow. There were just those splashes throughout it.
Okay, here's the question. This movie really portrays Batman as a incredibly loving father.
It really does
He
what?
portrays
It betrays Batman?
portrays.
Oh, portray. Oh, okay.
Oh,
My bad.
Yeah, it
You're right.
portrays-
Yeah.
it portrays Batman in a very loving father figure light. Like he genuinely is just very sweet. And how did y'all feel about, like, obviously like we all kind of know Batman as multiple things. I've never really viewed Batman as, he's not a bad father, but he's not a good father. I genuinely don't think he's a good father. He allows these children to fight crime, teaches them how to like fight, and basically just almost kind of put their lives on the line. And
Greg, that makes him a terrible father.
yeah. So how does it feel in this movie, seeing how overly protective he is of Damien?
No, but wait,
No.
how did you just say? I don't think he's a bad father, but I'm gonna have my kids go out there and risk their lives every
Yeah.
dang night.
I'm gonna take Devin's side because Batman teaches his sons to punch people when they're upset versus write them down and process their feelings like normal people.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In this movie, he's very sweet and loving. How does that compare to what Batman is? Because like I said, I wouldn't say he's a good father.
Yeah,
I think
I think
that
it would
this,
compare to the normal Batman by like he's being sweet and loving, versus normal
Shut
I
up.
think that like the
It's shut.
circumstances of the movie made it fine for me because they were like, oh well, there's no crime in Gotham, so he has the time to focus on being a good father. So he does not lose the childhood that Bruce lost. But I think like in terms of like how does it relate to like everyday Batman is trash.
Yeah,
Crimson he belongs in Chin City, not Gotham.
Yep.
yeah, okay, yeah, and that's also what I thought was pretty interesting. At the beginning of the movie, it's revealed that Gotham has been crime free for like 8 years. Because I guess the day Damian was born, Batman just goes on like just this never-ending tirade of cleaning up crime in Gotham in every way possible, making it like the safest city in the world. That I thought was really cool and interesting, and it shows like whenever the villains, I didn't understand why the villains looked the way they did. Like whenever Bane shows up and he's wearing glasses, the whole time I'm like, why is he wearing glasses? And then until like the end of the movie, whenever they're all in the snow globe together, it finally clicked. I'm like, oh, they're old. Okay, because Poison Ivy had white hair. Penguin looked he was like in a little hover round and everything.
Bane was the worst. I thought Bane was like one of the worst designed people. He just looked like Pudge.
Yeah.
Bane looked like the Bane from Batman and Robin. You remember that movie? Back in
Yeah.
like
But he had the
1992 or whatever.
yeah, but he had the Tom Hardy mask, kind of. He looked
Yeah.
like a combination of both.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it just took me a while to understand that they were old. And I was like, oh yeah, my bad. And so like it just didn't click. And I
I
blame
think I
the
had the same problem. I think when I didn't realize it until towards the end, because Joker looks normal.
Yeah.
yeah. And then Freeze, he's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt and everything.
I
He's
related to
wearing
him
one
the
of
most.
Devin's shirts.
Yeah,
He stopped by
it's like
Devin's house before heading up to Nova Scotia.
yeah.
They
It's just
actually like
clear
reached out to me and were like, "Hey, how do we costume this?" And I'm like, "Here's what you want."
yeah, it's because they're all old and retired, and like I didn't get that till the end, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It'd be ice if you let me borrow your shirt, Devin. Okay, ice. Never mind.
I get it. No, I get it. It was great. Solid gold, Tim.
You're hilarious, king of comedy. But as a whole, I thought the movie was just cute. It's not going to be a holiday favorite of mine. I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it again. Like so far, like my holiday favorites so far are I really liked the A Christmas Story Christmas, the like kind of like the
Is
actual
that the
sequel.
old one or the new one? Because didn't
The
they
new one.
remake it?
Well, no, it's the sequel to the original with like the same actors and everything from the original. And I loved it. Don't shake your head. We reviewed it like
No, we did
last
not.
year, Tim. We did. We
No, we
reviewed it
did
last
not.
year.
No,
I
we did not.
promise.
You
What's
can
it
promise,
about?
but that doesn't make you right.
Tell me more
All right.
about it because I don't remember.
In editing, I'm going to add in the intro to us doing A Christmas Story Christmas, right?
I hope you do.
I will. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
because then I'm going to point out how wrong you are
Yeah.
again.
Because we did.
all right. All right. Whatever. All right. The clip just finished. You're all wrong. Whatever. So, but I
He's
mean,
gonna
like, yeah.
cut all this out because he's wrong.
And so, A Christmas Story Christmas, and oh my God, Spirited is
Yes.
a banger of a Christmas movie.
I just
But
watched
this
it last
one-
week. Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to watch it again.
Yeah, but this movie, it's not going to be a favorite of mine. It's not going to be something that I go out of my way to watch again. Was it cute? Yeah. Did it waste my time? Yeah. But you know, it was cute enough for me to enjoy it in the moment. So actually, I'm going to stay true to my rating with a 7.5 out of 10 capes. I didn't hate myself watching it, but I won't go out of my way to watch it again.
Well, since nobody asked for my capes.
All right, well, shit.
Exactly.
What were
Don't ask.
what were your capes? I'm listening.
No, you don't. Tim doesn't want to hear them.
Okay.
I want a
mine-
full apology from Tim.
I want I want a written apology.
I want a broadcast over the airwaves.
300 pages. All right, he's gone. Do your what's your capes?
I gave it an. Would you give it, Greg? A 7.5?
7.5.
I gave it an 8.
Okay. Well, what's your reason?
I actually really enjoyed it. I knew going into it that it was not going to be a Batman story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't going to be dark and brooding and stuff like that. It was super cute. I really loved, like, Damien just being like a little monster menace the entire time without, like, trying to. And, like, how that was incorporated into the story. I did not like the art the entire time, but I got used to it and I could let it go. But for me, that was really like the only negative. I didn't like the way that some of the people were drawn, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like honestly, I feel like we already talked about this, but the art didn't fit in a lot of places. Like some people looked like appropriately drawn, and other people were just ridiculously drawn. Like
Yeah,
Damien,
it was the
Damien
fact
looked-
that some people had exaggerated features while other people, like, there were like weird exaggerated features while everybody else, like the normal people, did not. You know what I mean?
Like it was almost drawn by like two different people. It's like
Yeah.
one person drew certain characters and then another person drew the rest of them.
Yeah.
So
Probably an
it just-
entire team of animators, Greg.
And they just couldn't, like, no one person could nail down the exact style. They're like, oh, this is what we want.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
Like,
try.
They lost the original designs and like, oh shit, this movie comes out tomorrow. Quick, draw something. And so I feel like that's what they did. But
But I really loved the fact that, like, Damien knew that his dad was Batman.
yeah,
I loved that he was. I don't think he'd ever been down to the Batcave, which I thought was interesting. But like, I loved that he could, like, he had like his blanket and his paper bag mask. I loved every bit of that. I really loved the two burglar villains. I thought they were like the best part of the whole fucking movie. I was like, wow, it's hilarious. Especially the big guy with the phone.
Terry.
Yeah, Terry, loved him.
Yeah. But yeah, I actually thought that was actually going to be the whole film. Was just like it was just going to be a Home Alone kind of just a Home Alone kind of rip off of just what if Kevin McAllister was Batman.
That's what I
did
thought
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And then when it ended, I was like, holy cow, there's still like an hour left.
When it ended, I was like, holy cow, how are they not dead?
it's a cartoon and it's Christmas.
He's like, or they're like, it's a kiddie pool. And he's like, yeah, that's to put out the grease fire. Water doesn't put out grease fires. That's the point. Oh,
I laughed so hard, and then I laughed again when Joker was watching that on the phone. He goes,
and he
"Holy cow, is that a grease fire?"
Yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah, it was cute. It had some moments.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and do final thoughts, and we kind of already did capes, but instead of capes, let's just say, do we stand behind our capes that we gave earlier? Now that we've kind of processed the movie a little bit. So Tim, final thoughts.
I would say, like we've said since the beginning, it was cute. The animation was weird. I was getting used to it, yes, but it still was just not great for me. The dialogue was weird, but there were really funny moments. Like I just said, the grease fire part, that was hilarious to me. And then, like Devin said, when Joker was watching it and he rewinded it, that was really funny to me.
Yeah. He's a very small part, but I think Gordon, I wanted more Gordon.
I didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah, they make a joke in the movie where Batman is like, Batman asked Damien, if you get in trouble, what do I do? He's like, oh, I'll call Commissioner Gordon. He's like, no, because Commissioner Gordon just passes the buck off to me.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do anything. and then whenever we finally get Commissioner Gordon, a police officer busts in his office, and he's like, "Commissioner, the city's under attack. What do we do?" And then he kind of stands up. He's like, "I know exactly what to do." And he just flips on the bat symbol.
Doesn't he like look out the window first?
Yeah. Like he
I
just
thought-
flips on the bat symbol. He's just like, "I love the bat symbol."
That sounds
I thought for
hilarious.
sure that he was going to be like, "We can handle this," and he looks out the window and he goes, "Nope," and then flips the bat signal. That's what I thought was going to happen. That would have been hilarious too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the
But Gordon, he
moonshine
was
that I've
very-
been drinking, but that sounds freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
It was pretty
Gordon-
funny.
Yeah, he's an incredibly small part, but Gordon, he was the funniest person.
Doesn't he come back again towards the end?
He's at
Oh.
the very end whenever they're
Having dinner.
diner.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, sorry, I kind of interrupted your thought, Tim. I kind of usurped that.
That is
For a second,
that's the end of my thought, but thank you for recognizing that you interrupted me. Recognition
Right.
is the first step to recovery.
Healing.
However, I don't think you're plan on taking the second step, so
Anyways,
Which is not doing it, Greg.
all right.
I think
All
that's
right,
like
well,
step
Devin.
6, Devin.
Oh,
All right. Well, Tim,
I skipped a
Tim,
few.
do you stand behind your capes now? Is it still a 4?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm not going to watch it again. And you said that you felt like it was a waste of time. I feel like I'm not going to watch it ever again. Yes, we love your Batman shirt, Devin. Good
Thanks.
job, bud.
I forgot I was wearing it.
Anyway.
Otherwise, I would have unbuttoned it for the episode.
I'm wearing a wolf shirt.
I'm
he's in-
wearing.
That's actually kind of cool. I like that.
He's
I'm
in
wearing
space.
no shirt.
Ooh,
Tim, where are your nipples? Oh,
they're, they're really low.
that's what I was gonna say.
I do have tiny nipples, yes.
Yeah, your nipples are basically on your stomach.
They're
all right,
basically
well,
on my nutsack.
All right, so you stand by 4.
Yeah, I might go up a bit. I might go 4.5 or 5, but I'm not gonna go lower than 4 because it is funny. But
Tim, go
really
5.
I really can't justify higher than average.
Go 5. Make it like pure. Like it was okay.
Tell you what, Devin,
Give me
you push one more time, Devin. It's going to a 3.
Tim, make it a 3. I bet you won't.
Fine.
Come on,
2.
baby. Come on, baby. Give it a 5.
It's a 2-star. It's a 2 keep now. Thanks, Devin.
All right.
No.
All right. Well, Devin, final thoughts and where do you stand on your?
I'm just
case?
kidding. It's a 5 cape.
Yeah, I stand by mine. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again. I'd like to watch it with my kid. Probably not this year because I don't want him to learn from Damien and become the menace that Damien was. But I enjoyed it. I actually talked about it in one of my classes, and I was like, guys, this movie was great. I laughed. It had some heart. It was pretty silly, and I told them I just didn't like the art style. So I've stood by this thought for weeks.
All your students are gonna come back, and they're gonna be like, Mr. Farnsworth. I mean, bleep that out. They're
Mr.
like,
Devin.
Mr. Devin.
You know, I do have kids that call me Devin because they're trying to get under my skin. They're like, "Hey, Devin,"
Hey,
and then I like take their water bottle and throw it.
Hey, Mr.
I called my
Hipster.
I called my theater teacher by his first name once in high school. We were at lunch and he was like, Greg, and I was like, Larry. And he got so mad at me. Like he just stared at me. He was just like, don't ever do that again. I was like, fair enough.
I called my mom today with Rowan, and I was like, "Okay, Rowan, when Nana answers the phone, go, 'Hi, Karen,'" and he did. He went, "Hey, Karen," and my mom just went, "What did he just call me by my first name?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "He's not allowed to do that unless Nana is before it. She can call me Nana Karen, but that's it."
I call my mom by her first name.
When I was younger, my brother, when my dad was in Montana, and it was just me and my brother and my mom at home, my brother and my mom didn't get along, and so my brother came up to me and goes, "Hey, as a show of to like tell mom that we don't respect her anymore, let's just start calling her by her first name." And I was like, "I will not do that, but you can."
Yeah, I've started just doing it as a joke. Just every time like she calls me, I'm just like, "Hey, Jill." No. Yeah. All right. Well, we got sidetracked again.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
stand,
Let me
you
finish
stand-
my thought. Devin's kids
Oh.
are gonna come back and be like, "Hey, Mr. Devin, that was the dumbest movie suggestion ever. We hate you." All right, now I'm done.
But they can't do it on Monday because it's my birthday. So
All right, let's go, Devin.
Happy
Stand by your
birthday.
cake.
Thanks.
By the way, everybody, Devin Farnsworth's birthday is 12.
How dare you?
You just said his name again.
I know. You better bleep that out too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just prefer us not saying our full names.
You know what?
Just-
Make
Okay.
Tim bleep it out.
Okay, Greg Meisinger.
Timothy Forrest Green. I did the middle name too. Take
Oh,
that,
you monster! How dare you?
And you stuttered in between.
Yeah.
buddy. Yeah,
Timothy.
because I kind of forgot your
It's
middle
because
name. I was like,
you're scared of me with
yeah, I'm
you
terrible.
know, yeah.
And don't forget Reed Kelly and Brandon Flippo.
Greg, you better just bleep out all of our last names.
So this is just going to be a string of bleep, 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 bleep.
Probably not.
Probably
All right.
not.
Anyway,
Okay.
so you stand by your capes, Devin?
I do.
Okay. All right. Well,
What about
for
you,
me-
Greg?
Well, for me, it's kind of, it was cute. It had some great moments in it, but as a whole, it's not, like I've said 1,000 times already. I'm not going to watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me, the moments, yes, I agree with you, Devin. It had heart, and whenever it did get really heartfelt, it was really nice. Like the whole Alfred speech that he gives Damien, I thought that was great. It does handle like the heartfelt moments very well, and I kind of wish there were more of that. But obviously they had to do comedy to keep people's attention. But it it shined in certain areas, but it did not save it. I still stand by my capes. 7.5. We'll probably just forget this movie ever existed.
It's-
But is it just because of the art?
No, it's not just because of the art. The art, I mean, yeah, the art was distracting, but I think we all agreed that we just got used to it. It was, it's hard to say really why I didn't love it. Because like it had some heartfelt moments, but it just didn't.
I think it could have
It
been
wasn't-
better.
Yeah,
I think
it just
that
wasn't for me,
it didn't
I felt.
reach the level of memorable.
Yeah, like it kind of got there in certain parts,
Mhm.
but it all just happened, and that's the best way I can explain it. The movie just happened
Yeah.
to me, and it didn't like.
That's-
I will say before you say your thing, Devin, compared to Teen Titans Go, this thing is a national treasure.
definitely like
Yeah.
way better than Teen Titans Go.
The way you described it, the movie just happened. That's literally Hubie Halloween.
You
Yep.
shut.
That's how it feels to me. Except I
I
still
wish-
wouldn't give Hubie a 7.5.
I would not either.
I wish there was a Hubie Halloween Christmas. That's what I want.
Then it wouldn't be Hubie Halloween.
I want it. I want a Hubie Halloween Christmas special.
They should
Hubie
call
Christmas?
They should call it QB Christmas.
Yeah, Hubie Christmas.
QB with a CH.
And he's scared of Christmas as well. Like
Or hear me out.
He's scared of
Like
Santa
decoration
like
here.
showing up.
No,
Yeah.
it's gotta be it's not. I was gonna say illiterate, but that's not the right word.
Alliteration.
Yeah, it's gotta be illiterate. So Hubie Hanukkah. That's what it's gotta be.
Oh,
There we
and Adam Sandler is Jewish, isn't he?
full circle.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Adam Sandler, next idea. Come here. We'll pitch it to you. We'll let Greg pitch it to you, but we'll take some of the
I
money.
would 100% watch a Hubie Halloween sequel if it's Hubie
Hubie.
Hanukkah.
Yeah, Hubie Hanukkah.
Hubie Hanukkah. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be really
100%.
good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go on ahead and end the episode there then.
Thank you guys for joining us today with the Cape Complainers. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And check out our YouTube and our Twitch stream where we are streaming most Sundays
Are you
at 6
sitting in
o'clock.
Are you sitting in your car wanting to listen to a podcast? Well, guess what? You can listen to this podcast just about anywhere. And all you got to do is search Cape Complainers. And while you're listening to it, don't you forget that nobody complains like a fan. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.